they try anything again. He brags about that. There are videos on social media, by the way. You know, when a piece of meal or a piece of meat on the plate thinks is actually one of the people who are having a share or who are having a seat by the table, a piece of meat in the plate. And that's who Asari Dokudon is, a gun for hire, you know, a discardable, worthless piece of rag. Think about that. They can always give him luxury, they can give him riches. But he's still pretty much like a disposable piece of rag. So these guys who sees him as a gun for hire, no ideology, no nothing. A man that can speak with all sides of his mouth, as long as there is always something for him in it. That's all that matters. The reason why he has publicly said he couldn't really criticize Tifnumbu like that is because Tifnumbu stood by him when Obasanjo locked him up in jail. Asari Dokudumb. The injustice that is, because that's the only thing that is highly democratized in Nigeria. Injustice. There is no power, there is no this and that, and there is no money. Some people get money, some people don't get money, this and that. Baba, the only thing that everyone has gotten his own share and continue to get is the injustice that Nigeria represents. And sometimes when you see those ones who complains like us, you know, you think that everybody hates it. Unfortunately, right? Majority of Nigerians don't actually hate oppression, suppression, abuse of power, corruption, and all the shons that you can think of. The only reason why so many of them are speaking up against these social maladies, social injustice, is one, when what they are not the ones, so you get now, like they are not the ones doing the oppression. Then they will speak out, you know. Or on the other side, they are also a true reflection of the same people oppressing them, by the way. So, because you can easily tell an average Nigerian who wants to be an oppressor in himself. You know, every little chance, every little advantage they have above themselves, they utilize it to oppress themselves. So they are pure, I mean, you know, they're like a pure sort of replicas of their own leaders. You know, Asari Dokudumb is calling out the injustice against the Jaw people. And to him, if this is not corrected ASAP, it will lead to the breakup of Nigeria, the same breakup of Nigeria that the IPOB is being blacklisted for, it's been hunted down for, in which innocent people have also been labeled IPOB and been killed by this same Asari Dokudumb. And he is so proud of that. Now the Nigerian net system is about to turn their guns on Asari and Asari's people. Now automatically Asari is calling and is warning us that if that should happen, it will lead to war, civil war, and the breakup of Nigeria. I was like, oh, that's good. You know, bring it on. Like, come on, Asari. You know, I mean, I keep saying that on this platform all the time, that that you are not directly a victim of injustice, a victim of you know, abuse of power from that contraption. Doesn't mean that you can't speak up, because it is always turn by turn. When they are done with those they can deal with right now, then they will deal with those who they can't deal with right now, because you will be the only ones left. Unfortunately, they are dealing with all of us. So they were having a conversation in the National Assembly yesterday, and it was about the imbalance, right, in the distribution of appointments, jobs, you know, wealth and all that. You know, I mean, contrary to their constitution that recognizes federal character. Federal character means everybody is expected to have equal representation in every agency, ministry, parastatal, every part of government, day-to-day running of the country, from every part. Like, it is called federal character. you know. But these guys are saying that, unfortunately, that does not reflect in the agencies of the government. It's always dominated by the people in government. So if your people never have the chance of getting into government at the federal level, right, then federal character is not for you. And you may never have the same taste from the people whose people have been in power before, and they've utilized that influence to, to fill the entire place with their own people as a way of their own patriotism, Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited, and many more. That engagement.
Elsa West. Maybe we apply for extension of the time according to the height of the speaker. The period should be according to the height. On a lighter note, Mr. President and my dear colleagues, I rise to support this very important motion. The rationale has been sufficiently explained. This is one of the major challenges we Nigerians are creating for ourselves. Our founding fathers of this nation, knew the nation, the peculiarities of this country. From the Willings Commission to various conferences that they held, they knew the peculiarities. They knew that we were building a new nation. And most people now forget that the nation Nigeria is a nation of nationalities, welded into one to form the largest and the most powerful black nation, which is desirable. But it is in our hands to mold this nation, to create a nation that is inclusive, a nation of all and for all, and not a few. That is why the framers of this constitution inserted this concept of federal character and went ahead, as my good brother Senator Aliero said, to also in the constitution establish the Federal Character Commission, and went further to prescribe the composition of that commission, to say that it shall consist of members nominated by every state. So all states are represented. And there's also a Federal Character Tribunal. But all of these have been abandoned. So now you go to ministries, you will see people from one part of the country, maybe speaking one language, to the exclusion of others. And even in the state, it's not just about tribes and so on. It says, the Constitution is very clear, as Senator Aurelio read it, to make sure that in the formation or composition of the government of the Federation, there shall be no preponderance. None. So even in some states, if you go there, you will see that all the people they employ will be from one local government. That's a violation. That's a violation. So we're not just talking of big tribes and small tribes. It is a major problem that all Nigerian bureaucrats and people in authority are guilty of. It's not to say, oh, we blame only one side, and one side are, everybody is culpable. But it is time for us to rededicate ourselves to the founding ideals so that we can create a new Nigeria where everybody can have a sense of belonging. So I associate myself fully, Mr. President. I don't agree that we need an ad hoc committee. We already have a committee. The Senate rules are provided for the Committee of Federal Character, ably manned, and we should trust our committees. We should give them the support. The only thing I'd like to add is that because of the seriousness of this assignment, the time frame suggested will not be enough, one. And two, the leadership has to discuss with the President of the Federal Republic. The President is in our system, it's a combination of a lot of things. He's the head of state, He is the commander-in-chief, yes, but he's also the leader of the country and the chief executive of the federation. So he should be told that this flagrant commonplace violation has to stop, and that the National Assembly is doing something, and he should throw his weight behind it. And maybe when the report is out, he should be availed a copy, so that we can have fairness for all. If you go to NNPC, it will shock you, even from those of us from oil producing people, our people are not there. You go to CBN, people are not there. You go to, Mr. President, just extend it 2 minutes for me. No, I was only joking. I'm rounding up. What I mean is, this is a very serious issue. Even in the military, where our people, Nigerians, are trained, they are volunteered to give their lives to our defense of the territorial integrity of our country, fighting side by side as brothers. People will discriminate them. If a recruitment officer is one place, he will only create one type of ethnic army. We can't allow that. We can't allow that. And like I said, it's not a time for blame.
Such a manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria and the need to promote national unity and also to command national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or sectional groups in that government or in any of its agencies. Mr. President, the motion essentially addressed appointments only, but the conduct of its affairs of government is very important in this section. Conduct of affairs of government includes development of the country evenly across the geopolitical zones. Therefore, anything government shall do must pursue balance, and it shall to be done in a manner that every part of Nigeria shall be accommodated in it. And that's the only way to preserve national unity. Mr. President, the constant breach of this section of the Constitution, you remember that I have been a champion of equity and fairness in this chamber, right from the 8th Senate. Anything you do to the exclusion of any part of Nigeria is a breach of Section 14.3. Anything you want to do, infrastructure development, I've been fighting here about Eastern Rail Line, that is breach of this section of the Constitution. Appointments into agencies of government, I don't need to continue to recount what Sireke Dixon has enumerated, but I want to say that my zone has been the greatest victims of this breach. Today we have only 5 ministers in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Others have minimum of 8. So we have been dropped due to non-observance of this section of the Constitution. And I believe that if people who are in authority, not only the president, people who are appointed to head agencies of government, if they are properly guided by Section 14.3, there will be no domination and influence by any part of Nigeria in the affairs of government.
Thank you.
Let us be guided by this. Yes, I know time, is short, particularly when it comes to me. But
you have made your point. You have mentioned the fact that Saudi should not be marginalized.
Yes,
the message has gone across.
No, every part of Nigeria should not be marginalized. I've been saying it. No part of Nigeria should be left behind in the affairs of government, in the conduct of government affairs.
Thank you.
Be it infrastructure or appointments. So I support this motion, and I want to plead that the committee.
Just over time. So those are there are 3 of them, because Ushiomoli was also one of them. But I think 2 is enough, Talking about the unequal distribution of the country's wealth. That's practically their argument, Then today, they were moving a motion to, before I even go to today, I better say I should, right? So today, in that same National Assembly, 2 things happened. The first one was when Eyinaya Abaribe, a senator from Abia, moved a motion to posthumously immortalize the former PEDECO chairman, been an INEC, old INEC chairman, who is dead now, Humphrey Nwosu. While he was presenting his supposed motion, he got interrupted by Okweyewo Bamondele, the House leader, the same one, right? That is the Arrowhead and the Akwabiole sexual harassment cover-up, Okweyewo Bamondele. Now let's go check on this drama, how it all started and ended. Here is another long watch, brethren.
My point of order is Order 41 and Order 51. Order 41. Matter for discussion, may matter of urgent public importance. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the order and the claim unless he is satisfied.
Senator Abaribe, we don't wish to, you can continue. We are through with these two orders. You may proceed to state your matter.
Thank you, Mr. President. This matter is a motion to immortalize the architect of June 12, Professor Humphrey Nwosu. And I'm not the only sponsor. This is also sponsored by other senators, Senator Abamoro, Senator Joseph Okalo, Senator Austin Akobondo, Senator Aliero, Senator Victor Ume, Senator Victor Moye, Senator Okechukwu Ezia, Senator Kelvin, Senator Ositangu, Senator Nwebonyi, Senator Antonio Kori Ane, Senator Citizen Aso, Senator Nyewuchi Ezenwa, and Senator Chenwuba Ndubweze. The Senate notes that the late Professor Humphrey Nwosu was a former National Electoral Commission NEC chairman from 1999 to 1993. Further notes that Professor Humphrey Nwosu supervised the 1993 presidential elections. Aware that the courageous defense of democratic electoral process during the 1993 presidential election led to the famous June 12 slogan, which ultimately confirmed Alhaji MKO Abiola as the winner.
It's okay. You may, well, the leader said he has a point of order. I don't know on this. In any case, Senator Abaribe approached me this morning and told me he has this matter that he wanted to bring forward, and but he said he has point of order. Let me either.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my most distinguished colleagues. My point of order is pursuant to Order 41, Sub 3 of our rules. And with your permission, sir, I will read. 41.3. A senator moving a motion under combined orders 41 and 51 shall ensure that copies of the motion are available for all senators when approval to move the motion is granted. This well,
well, okay. This is an issue that is in our rules. Since the copies are not available, I think we should stop until they are given. I don't want to go. Let's step it down until everybody gets it. We'll come back to it. Your point of order is upheld. No. The leader said it. Yes, leader.